Hello.
Hi.
It's Counter-Strike. Time on, Overpass with Dan and James.
Hampus has made his way to the area where he might find a hamper. I had to do it. Every time I say Hampus, I'm thinking of Hampus.
Hey James, producer Patrick's mic is on. I can hear everything.
Maybe producer Patrik should turn his mic off.
Nice.
Thank you very much. So we've got the players moving down the long area, moving into the toilets now. Into the toilet stand. George Michael. Hashtag George Michael.
Into the... He's going to get a swirly. We don't do it in the UK, but whatever. Trades coming in for, well, not really trades. It's more or less just decimation. Heroic can't even get themselves in this bomb site with more than one frag or two. Friis trying desperately to scramble his way into
Hashtag George Michael.
George Michael, I'm telling you,
Let's go outside.
the T models on the Elite Crew, they look like George Michael. I'm telling you. We're going to look at pictures of George Michael later. And
are we doing it?
we're going to look at pictures of George Michael.
It's a group activity, is it?
Yes, and then we're going to look at the source models and the 1.6 models. And I'm telling you, you'll see eventually.
I'm getting a separate taxi home now.
So, Umps for dice audience. Vandal, Hampus.
Bish bash bosh.
I hope you're going to pay for that.
So we have Hampus and Rusty towards the lose the bogs, the sort of area. Can't think of any other nicknames for it. See what Heroic can do. Not the start they wanted. They won both pistols in the first match. That was a bigger passion. They didn't manage to win it. This is their map. This is their home. Maybe not in the toilets. Valde, 14 HP, picks up a UMP. The bomb, though, is rotating. It seems to be trying to keep passions deep towards A. And the bomb may head towards B. But Person will be having a look through Monster. He will have the early warning. And there it is. He's going to get shot in the foot, but that's information for his team. Now they can go 2 for 2. 2 per site. And perhaps there's some indecision as to what Heroic want to do. They've still got a minute on the clock, so they can go backwards and forwards for some time. Going towards Monster, even if they want to go from short B, is going to be difficult in that situation. And they're choosing to... they know they've got the real estate close to A already. They don't know the status of short B. So it seems they're going to... take a gamble and go in this direction, but a bomb is long on its own, and that's a bit tricky. If Hampus goes for a peek here, it could all fall apart. Oh, the reload, he's got no cover!
He's got power put there, powering through from Optimus Prime. The truck position, it's looking rather, well, it's in a state of disrepair. And Friis is going to be able to take down power put it, but Passions will retake the bomb sites. Unfortunately, they did lose a few members, but it's okay because Heroic, they force spot, which means they cannot possibly bind this round, which means that there is time to make good of those deaths. There's time to buy MP9s. It's time to make the bank against the Glocks. This is not a good start for Heroic. This is their map. They lost map 1. It's not supposed to be going down like this.
It is not, and it may continue for the time being. See, now we see something reasonable. Hampus in connects on an anti-eco, but with an SMG. This week we've seen some crazy plays from the T side specifically, when the CTs have been on an eco round. One man pushing through connector, even 2 getting ruined. But enough about that. Heroic on the buy, Friis on the AWP, as is powerputte, so Passion starting with the 1 AWP. Maybe they'll be opportunist with a second AWP if they can steal one away from Friis. Now let's see if Heroic can get their first round on the board. 2 players moving towards the B area. And they're going to start carefully towards A, towards the statue, the fountain rather. So MODDII's creeping in towards short B. No flashbang from his teammate. He will just rely on headshots, and there is a reason why. MODDII been pretty consistent shooting people in the face recently. Sees Hampus, and that's going to be a fast rotation from the T's, but they're a ways away. MODDII needs to stay alive. Hampus is going to go down. MODDII is cleaning this round out. This is pretty much a save for the CTs. One-man wrecking machine.
Yeah, MODDII's so good. He is so good. And I wonder, actually, you know, what the future looks like for him, because I still feel like MODDII is... Like, yeah, obviously he is the star player of this team. There is, to me, no question about that. There is no question whatsoever. And I do wonder, you know, how the trend will continue to work with him as we watch the MODDII hunt down the rest of the players. 4 frag. know where Rusty is now as well, so he is probably not long for this world. Is MODDII going to go for him? Yeah, he's actually... Oh, no, he's just sitting on the A side. But yeah, it does feel like MODDII can definitely hang, absolutely hang with the guys in the Tier 1. Absolutely. Like, you know, from a skill perspective, there's no question. So you do wonder if, let's say, Heroic aren't able to break through, you know, how strongly is he tied to that team? Because I'm sure there will be other teams in the Tier 1 that might look to MODDII.
FaZe?
Actually, I mean, the thing is, he has the skill, I think, to be on that team. A team which is basically just individual skill. The problem is that they don't need more individual skill. They need...
So he could help with the direction as well.
I hope so. I don't know how he is inside the team.
Both teams on the buy. Valde's going to take some damage from that grenade. Ooh, the follow-up spray can go in both directions. So that's one third of his life gone. Nice free fires coming in towards a short position. Yeah, some players have said recently as well that MODDII is one of the most annoying players to play against.
Oh, I thought you were going to say to play.
Said it didn't say. I mean, I'll leave you to comment on that one, Dan.
Because that was his reputation, that people didn't like to play it, and that's why he jumped around teams from team to team previously. That was the explanation given. But of course, MODDII's always been legendary from an individual perspective ever since the 1.6 days. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And you can see why he can be annoying to play against. He is really wrecking Perjons at the moment, but in comes the play. Nice kill before the push. The set piece is executed onto the B-bomb site. Snappi going around the water. It's going to be MODDII that saves him, though. I think that was Snappi's job, but MODDII's going to take that away from him. Pick up the frag. Snappi can plant the bomb, and Perjons down to 3 now against the 3 of Heroic with the bomb planted.
Right then, how do they go for this retake? They've got a Molotov and a flash. Could get the molly towards short, perhaps. Valde spotted, but a spray isn't there for Rusty on this occasion, and now things are awkward for Putte. How does he push forward without getting split by these players? When you scout no less, now he's the last man standing, and it's time to run away. Heroic are going to get some consecutive rounds on the board, and this is going to be crippling for the CT economy. I'm not sure if powerputte is actually going to escape the bomb blast in this situation. Well, MODDII may not allow him to do so. He's making some noise though, so Putte expects him. Going for the no-scope, but MODDII, full health, won't be touched.
I love that as well. Because of the bomb blast, MODDII has so many opportunities to get that frag. And so you can see the way that he made his movement. He forces, like, he makes the sound, and then he forces the CT constantly to peek into his angle, which he can choose. And as he's elevated as well, it's so much harder for the CT in that spot. So, you know, just the small tactical little things there to notice when you're watching these players, that, you know, where they try to play and make their own engagements easier. It's not all individual skill. A lot of it's positioning and outthinking your opponent as well to give yourself the superior engagement. And Perjons, I mean, we can start to see that they're having a hard time. I wonder if this will be basically the opposite of Mirage, whereby on Mirage, Perjons lost both pistols, yet still were able to have a very strong map, in fact, winning it. Heroic, they lost the pistol. However, we're seeing, I think, so far in the early days, a lot of strength from them.
So that's a nicer way than we normally see to approach the connector area on the anti-eco, the high ground and the low ground, combining together along with some Molotovs. But there is damage being done by the Perjons side. Now Limp may overextend and get taken down for free by Valde. That's exactly what's going to happen. Hampus has found himself an AK-47. And actually above the ladder is a nice place to hide. Because if you go up the ladder, then there's a blind spot directly behind you on your right that you can't do much about. It's super awkward. Although trying to knife people, as I've discovered in that position, doesn't always work. It is a bit weird. So back on the buy, Perjons, but no AWP onto powerputte. Frags averaged out over on the CT side. See what response they have to the lack of utility and the lack of AWP.
So the aggression coming in from Perjons is nice to see. Playing the aggressive setup here towards the party area and long can be quite... It can have its risk, but again, there's ways to do it. If you look at SK, they're quite strong at this. It's one of the things that they are very scary when they try to attempt this, because you see the pop flashes come in. They know exactly how to fall back from these forward positions safely as well. And Perjons, I mean, Hampus was kind of out there alone. I don't think we really saw the correct nades to go with his push. sort of dive for free there, and you can see that the response from Passions is to take aggressions on towards short. They pick up the kill there, very important. Equalizes the numbers. Also tells them that Heroic are mostly moving towards A at the moment, which is going to mean Passions are going to fall back a little bit onto the bomb site, although Rusty's taking a forward position, playing the shadows. And you can see also a rotation position from the players on B.
I like how quiet the CTs are being and were being when you go in for that crossfire towards MODDII's position. As soon as one player gets taken down, the other CT darts out as well, tries to get any information. Passion's playing really well together. Definitely a proper unit, a proper team. Rusty's got to be careful because of the trade. That's info for his team though, because that's the bomb spotted. And now we see a full rotation, so maybe that will be the information Passion's needed. Moving into position at the moment. We've got smokes all over the place, but it's going to be hard to get the bomb out because that Molotov is going to disappear from Optimus position, and they're going to need to find kills. That's one way to do it. Friis delivering for his team again. They hear limp, and they're both got a face, and Friis will trade the final kill and keep Heroic in the winning column. Important kills there from Friis. That was very hard. Close range, awkward angles, managed to deliver, and that puts Passion straight back on the eco.
It's funny too, because you can see that Friis, as an AWPer, he doesn't want to be in those spots, but he realizes that because of the kinds of angles that the CT could take, he has to be really close to the planter, because he knows the CT is going to come out at that moment when the guy's planting to kill him. So he has to play close as well, because if he plays far away, the CT can get into angles where he can escape, and then Friis can't win the round. So he's got to play the awkward shots. And there we go, we've got the next round coming up. And it's a bit of an easy affair here for Heroic. Nice kills coming in from them to take the bomb site.
I wonder if Snappi's tilted. Don't you hate it when you're the second man out, but you get shot instead of the first man out? It's so irritating. Poor Snappi. So Passions, can we see the scoreboard quickly? Because, yeah, maximum loss bonus is coming their way. In fact, after the pistol and the 2 ecos, or whatever, they haven't won a round yet. That doesn't bode well going forward in the first half. A good start with the pistol, but ignoring those, it's basically 4-0 from the buy round onwards, soon to be 5. So they're going to have good money. The AWP will be coming back out. I do wonder if there's a chance they'll go for 2 AWPs to change things up a little bit. There's one, and there's the other one. A different approach coming in from Passions.
Good old Passions. Rusty and powerputte on the AWP. Okay, we're going to get the Fallen-esque peek. Because with Fallen, he always has support when he goes for aggressive plays. And, you know, person to flash for you and so on. But we get the walk, the explosion play, the contact out of Monster straight into the B-bomb site. And Limp, uh-oh, he's surprised by this.
Wow.
Wow, the crab walk spray down, of course, works every time. And that's going to be the frag onto MODDII. An important kill to get, an important player dead. And Heroic, they still need to plant the bomb, but they can't get onto the bomb site. How is this even happening at this point? How did they not get the bomb down?
Yeah, that's massive. What Passions made a great play. Because they had short B, but they were losing control of the site, they pushed through to Monster Tunnel. Perrzon actually killed the flanker. No, he got killed. He was the flanker, and he got taken down from the back. So Heroic made their way through to Monster, but then they had to look in both ways because they didn't have control of short B. It became really awkward, and again, it's Passions making split decisions like they did on Mirage when they pushed into A that allowed them to take that round in such a fashion. Heroic with money in the bank will continue. Just want to note that Friis has been a really exciting AWPer for Heroic. We've seen him on a bunch of different teams, but this one seems to fit a lot better.
There's some more passes set up too from Passions, mixing up how it works. And it's always quite interesting too. I mean, a team that decides to play both AWPs from the A position, toilets and the A-long area, a lot of teams will actually like to spread them out. So you have one per site. So it's going to be quite cool to see how that actually pans out for them, because Heroic are moving towards... Well, I mean, they're not necessarily moving towards A, not committing. They are still in clearance mode. But with a frag onto one of the A players, an AWPer no less, which they will realize, they might start to feel a bit more compelled by the decision to go towards A. However, they don't have any control towards B, so Perjons can very easily from this point rotate players. And that's what they start to do.
Yeah, exactly. They're starting to do that already. Hampus has to wait patiently because of that Molotov. Valde is going to offer himself up. Got to move back because the molly is spreading. And Hampus is just holding down the A-site on his own. 3 more players to deal with now for Heroic. Snappi waiting for him to offer themselves up. More Molotovs coming in to stop that plant. It's on the high ground and the low ground. No plant possible. Snappi almost falling, walking into the Molotov there. Finally going for the plant with 18 seconds on the clock. That's a great Molotov coming in from the CT side. Down goes the bomb, 2 versus 2. That smoke will soon disappear, and again, Snappi is in a lot of trouble here. He does not have much help at all. Spotted and swatted by Persson. They've got a molly to force Friis into one angle. He doesn't have his trusty AWP, but he could get almost a 2-man spray down. Now it's powerputte with the AWP coming in closer to CZ. Friis playing the blind spot, but he's ready for it. Gonna snap him in the face. Nice stuff, takes his AWP straight back as well. Very close rounds. That could have gone either way, but Heroic will reset Perjons again.
Yeah, that's very nicely done by Heroic. Perjons having a really hard time against them. One thing I want to see, I hope we get to see more and more of, is just MODDII taking liberties here. And the other thing that can work out quite well is, as we've seen, is Friis just trying to open up things towards A long with that AWP of his. He knows that position very, very well. And Snappi will be going for the entries here towards that A toilets area. Gets dinked. Don't want any more to do with that, I don't think, as they are just playing against pistols. No need to risk dying. Let another teammate handle the forward push. Snappi with the double. Nice little finish to the A-long attack.
I think it was Pain Gaming, the Brazilian side who favoured Overpass, who had a Molotov from around the fountain area, or kind of between the fountain and the birthday area, onto the tree position on long, which was really cool and makes it hard to have that 2-man setup for CTs over towards long. Would like to see more of that from other teams. So Perjons with just 1 round on the board. I'm enjoying, even though Heroic have had most of the success since the pistol and the post rounds, some of these rounds have been pretty close, and I'm liking what both teams are trying to do. It's pretty enjoyable. See if Patrik can save himself an AK. Ooh, I like this. Off angle. Not easy to jump up there first time, and Valde, there's no way he's looking up there.
Well, James,
of course he's going to look up there.
He saw. I think he saw a
in
shoe.
fairness, he saw the foot, yeah.
Otherwise,
saw
a heel.
So technically I was right. Information was discovered, leading to his peak.
Back on the double up. It's quite interesting to see that Perjons favour the double up so much. I do feel like with some of their skill sets, they could be quite a good Overpass team as well, with the right tweaks. One of them being, I think they should just try to straight up copy some of the setups on A that SK use. I think most teams should do that because SK are really good on this map. But nice sewage take coming in from Heroic. Again, this doesn't mean that they are going to go to B. It is just like it's just one way of opening up the map. You want to, a lot of teams you can do it. It's easier to open up sewers first because you can get the Molotov down, you can get presence there, which really makes it very hard for the CTs to get back in. If you go A toilets first and then try to get control of sewers, then it's very hard. It's much harder to do it that way around. But the push comes into B.
Double Molotov, no less. Persson completely blind, but nobody can help him. Down goes Limp as well. More problems for Perjons. They've got players. Well, they had players. Now they're all dead, basically. Body bags galore. Off the conveyor belt straight into the body bag. And those double ops need to be saved, but that's going to be awkward because Valde is already on the flank. And Rusty's going to be exposed towards long. Neither player prepared. Valde trying to do as much basic as possible, and it's going to pay off.
Nice.
So this is a disastrous situation for Perjons. They're just losing and losing and losing. Weapons, people, rounds, hope. And
okay, so this is the cool thing, right? Is that if you're a team that shows this play into sewers, like I said, it is definitely easier to build sewers into then go for the take into toilets and long potentially, and then make a decision if you can. Like that's one way I think the defaults can be very strong. But having shown that now, they don't have to do that every time. They can take sewers. They could do it again and just do a really slow variation where they force Passions to take info, or they could go and do kind of build quickly into a toilets control and then have both parts of the map. Like those are two big variations that give you so many options that make it hard for the CTs to deal with and force reactions from the CTs. So that's not something, a baseline they can work off of if they choose to do that. We'll have to see what they decide to do in the next buy versus buy. I'm really curious now.
Passions on Nico. Stacking.
If Heroic send a guy down into the connector area alone, I will quit my job. I'll quit this job. I'll never come back. We've seen teams do that as well.
Yeah, we have.
We've seen Sean Gares do that.
But we've seen Heroic have a good anti-eco where they put somebody on the T side of connector on the lower ground, and then have somebody throw a Molotov from the high ground, and then come in for the high ground along with their teammate on the low ground and pinch anybody who was in there. So they had a measured approach to it. It's better than the usual nonsense. That sounded very paintball-y, I just realised.
Oh yeah, yeah. Very
paintball-y indeed. Maybe it is. Maybe it's literally the sample from a paintball inspired gas-powered paintball gun. Snappi and Glaive trying to
oh, this is a problem.
Stop Passions from stealing all the weaponry away.
Oh no.
They're going to take an AWP for free. That is a much-needed steal for Passions. All things considered. It's been a very difficult CT half for them. That one round in the middle of just glory, badges, honor, and cheese for Heroic. The finest cheese. Blue cheese, chutney. What else do you have with cheese then? You've had a lot of cheese recently.
Marmalade.
Onion. What's that pickled? Is it? What's that onion?
Honey, marmalade.
Caramelized onion? You had some of that dip or something?
It was marmalade. Onion marmalade.
Oh, onion marmalade. Okay, that works. That's fine. Onion marmalade. 9-4 for Heroic.
And this is the thing too, like Heroic will realise that there'll be orbs here. Ooh, there you go. Nice, aggressive play. I was going to say, they know there'll be orbs to play with for Passions, and that Passions love to double orb. The B set piece execution does work very well against that initially to get yourself the bomb down and force the orbs out of position. So I'm surprised that they're not deciding to go for that after seeing the orb being stolen last round. That said, they just lose one player early to Hampus' aggression. And look at the movement here. We've got Friis all the way up A-long, completely alone with his AWP. And the rest of the team, oh no, this is just, it's so brutal, isn't it, James? It's so brutal.
Information
That's the
plays.
GG. That's the GG plays.
Yes, information plays. Always love to see that kind of stuff. He's made his way forward, but he can do minimal damage. Passion survived with 4 players, but can they string one round together? 2 rounds together, rather, since they've got 1 round. Can they get the other one? That's the question. They haven't been able to do it in this half from the buy rounds onwards.
I see the sewers take again. I want to see the sewers take straight away. That's what I want. That's what I want in my life. Because it also factors out that aggressive play early into the round towards A from the CTs. They're going to go towards A first. Aggressive play comes in from Rusty. He misses the shot though. But Hampus is going to be in from the side. He's been so good with this. The flash comes over the top, but didn't seem to flash Hampus nearly enough, or Friis nearly enough there.
And Passion's taking the fight to the other side. Powerputte falling, pushing connector. We'll see if Passions can pull some more frags out of the hat. Heroic still have their options available to them, but they're moving towards the B-bomb site, which appears to have been abandoned by Passions. Stacking towards A. They've taken the gamble, but they've made the wrong gamble.
I like it though, because it's safer, because it's much easier to retake B than A. So, and you can see that this allows them also to take 2 players from the flank and have 1 player coming from CT spawn. So I actually kind of like the fact that they gambled on A there. But the smokes, wow. I don't think he could see anything of MODDII there. That is disgusting.
Perrzon go down to 3, leaving Limp in a 1 versus 4 on the last round. Never a nice spot. Good headshot to start things off. Needs to get himself some more 1v1s. Glaive will win the second one though. So 5-10 in favour of Heroic. They're looking pretty good. We'll see if they can close it out. They lost the first pistol. Can they win the second?
Yeah, they're looking really good. Heroic, again, it kind of does feel like how Passions looks like on Mirage. That confidence, that's comfort that they had, seemed to really outshine how Heroic felt on Mirage. And it seems now to be the opposite case on Overpass. But it seems quite clear that Heroic are very, very confident on this map. And I think they could even have taken a lot more rounds here, to be honest, against Passions. Potentially even getting the 12-3 if they had opened up some rounds a little bit differently. MODDII hitting the shots that he's hitting too. It's always going to be very helpful. And let's have a look at the pistol strategy for both teams. There's a lot of interesting stuff that we've seen in the past on this map for CT pistol strats. The NIP P250 stuff I really liked. But here we go, we've got the play into connector. Very important location for the CTs, a bit like short on Dust 2 for the CTs. Ooh, didn't expect Snappi. That's a problem.
Snapping heads, snapping necks.
Oh,
snapping prawn crackers, Dan.
It's not a good
with the little messages inside. Perrzon somehow still gets the plant though. What can he do with this? Not much, unfortunately. Glaive putting an end to the shenanigans. So let's see what Passions opt to do. What would you like them to do in the next round, Dan?
Well, I think it's, if you have the set piece, I always like to see it, because especially what you want to do is you want to pressure Friis off of the AWP early into the map, because you want to get him out of his groove. So, and one way to do that is to win the round with a force buy, and that's what they're doing, which is really awesome. So they're going to go for this force buy, but interestingly, there's almost no tech. There's no Tech 9s actually. Having the Tech 9s allows you to buy a lot of grenades with it, Molotovs as well. But they'll only have smokes. This is I don't remember when I last saw a team take this approach to this round. So this is gonna be quite cool to see what they have. They're just gonna go for it. Oh no!
No!
Oh no! James, why?
Man,
Why?
You could wall off this whole site with those smokes.
Oh dear, that feels really bad. I feel terrible. I feel horrible.
We're bigging them up. We're saying there's all this potential.
Yeah.
Let's just make a school line into the monster tunnel. Let's queue like we're waiting for lunch, and get sprayed down by the dinner lady.
By the dinner lady.
Oh man. that was kind of funny, to be honest.
That's so terrible. I mean, because the thing is that playing the force buy in that round is like the whole point is that you have like a really solid plan. Well, for example, what a lot of teams would do, I say in that position, is you have at least 2 players with Tech 9s at least, so that you can have some extra grenades, and then you play into sewers. You play it really fast-paced, you overwhelm the CTs, you may or may not have enough grenades, and you go for the split there. You go for a split, or even the 4-1 split can even work for sewers, one monster. Just a split of some kind, with some more grenades of some kind. And it's going to be a little bit more effective. That is just, well, we don't want to be outcome-oriented, but that can obviously go like that more than one time, so...
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But we've got to move on.
We're moving on.
The 5 AKs are out, and Passions are starting slowly. Now let's see what their T side have to offer, and if Heroic are prepared to deal with it. One would imagine they might be. Has proven to be a good map for Heroic. Bomb left passively for the time being. Glaive starting to push. Oh, there's a 2-man push, and Hampus is forced back actually. He's not going to take down a single player. That is monstrous. Tons of information for Heroic. Passions are pretty deep towards A, at least Limp is. And they've got no eyes towards B, so they may feel like they are being funneled towards the A site, but Snappi's going to continue to push. The trades will go in favour of the CTs, however. That's really interesting from Snappi.
They're taking one-on-ones now, it seems like. The Passions, that is. Like, Russ is going to come in, boom. There's no trade possible. Just very far ahead of his teammates. No grenades onto the site at the same time. Friis still alive. Falls back into a position where MODDII can cover. MODDII is then the distraction, allowing Friis to peek out to get a free frag. That round was made very easy, I think, for Heroic in many senses, and it might be a little bit of Passions being a bit frustrated But, okay, this is kind of what I would more have expected to have seen, this kind of a buy, minus the Galil. Maybe an extra Tech 9, 3 Tech 9s, 2 UMPs in that round where they got slaughtered. And this time they'll probably do the set piece from Suez instead of just running all through Monster. Maybe they'll go through Monster again. Maybe they want to make it work. Yeah, I guess they want to make it work. And they have flashes this time. That's good. Yeah,
but there are counter flashes for the CT side, and that's going to be a problem for Passions. They are stuck now. They are still blind, and they're getting sprayed down. Great damage being done by the CT side here, but they're fighting back to T's. One more person to deal with. That's Snappi in the smoke, and it's Rusty with 43 HP. Bedlam, the carnage is not going to go in their favor, unfortunately. And now Heroic find themselves with many game points. Force Spy coming out from Passions. They managed to eke out some AKs. They'll be even more limited with the grenades.
Yeah, and that's been an issue. Also, the issue is that maybe that they don't have all the knowledge when it comes to all those pop flashes, like exactly where they need to be. Because, for example, whenever you design a rush, you're always looking at a couple of the most problematic things that can happen. You have a flash for that. That's kind of the idea. If a guy can be in this position, which blows the rush, or that position, you have a flash, 2 flashes for that, and a Molotov for that. And you know, that's sort of the thing that we didn't see on some of these pushes for Passions, and they really get eaten up by the counter grenades, as you pointed out, by Heroic, who seem very confident in how to counter grenade these spots. Oh, the feet are exposed. Nice position from Glaive. That's an easy frag for him. We'll be able to continue the hold on to Suez, and also that frag. It means also for Passions that they feel they don't feel confident at all now in going towards B. I mean, this allows Heroic to play 3 players on A now instead of just 2-2 because of the position of Glaive, which means that because Passions are forced to go there, and they know that.
Once again, Passions have their options taken away from them by force.
Yeah, they're going to decide to try to go back. They could try to do it. It's just very risky.
The Friis with 3 places to look, and he's still delivering again and again. 4 versus 2. No other place have got to be here. One by one they'll go down. Person doing what he can, but that's going to be a pretty monster map for Heroic. They come straight back with that one.
Yeah.
I think we expected him to win, but maybe not in such a strong fashion.
I think we could see it at certain points that Heroic, well, I mean, they look confident, but their opponents' Passions looked a little bit lost at certain spots. Like, okay, how do we do? We want to do this, but how do we do that correctly? I mean, just some steps are missing, I think. But also, I love like some of the small tactical touches we saw out of some of the just pure individual plays from players like MODDII, how he's able to outplace people in one-on-ones and so on. But also with Friis and MODDII on the A bomb site, you see this spot where there's so many times, like right at the end there, Friis can take his shot. He's not going to re-peek that angle. He's going to peek maybe another angle. When he peeks that angle, before going back to the original angle where players from there will be focused on his position, he lets MODDII, he lets the T's go deeper to find him, and then that puts them into MODDII's positions. Now MODDII shoots at them. If they don't get that kill, they're looking at MODDII. Now Friis peeks out again. So it's like they have this good rhythm and understanding of how each position comes into play, and that's just from like great routine, trust, and good execution. So really nice from Heroic, to be honest.
Yeah, very nice from Heroic. And for Passions, I think from the demonstration of their what they're capable of on Mirage, we can see that they can easily learn to be stronger on Overpass and then become more of a dangerous team. And I definitely hope that roster sticks together, because you can see they're definitely a solid unit, and there's just some learning to do on this particular map, which was the pick of Heroic. So I look forward to seeing more of them. So that's us done for today. We'll be back with North America tomorrow. SK will be in action once again. We will see you then.